on to the main event. Um, I really have only good things to say to Tyron and only bad things to say to Darren. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Tyron is the second greatest welterweight in the world currently that's not GSP. And then if GSP fought Tyron now, I would give it to Tyron. Tyron would beat GSP, and I think GSP knows it. I don't think it's a smart move for GSP to take. And there's so much evidence to prove how good Tyron is, and I've done that before. I've praised him for how smart he is. But what I didn't do is praise how good he is in the octagon. His wrestling is phenomenal. His pace and pressure is incredible. And his power, he is the hardest hitting welterweight ever. Done. Period. No one has ever hit harder in the welterweight division than Tyron Woodley. Not Johnny Hendricks. Obviously not GSP. Not Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Not Darren Till. Not Matt Brown. Not Mike Perry. But Tyron Woodley. And what Tyron can do in the division is he can start the next successful all-star and successfully be the person continuously to defend his title. Like a GSP Anderson Silva, where no matter who they put, their opponent would lose. And Tyron has a really good chance of maintaining that. He's never looked better. Tyron is getting up there in age. However, he can still put together an amazing career. He can still get money fights. He came out of this fight unscathed. And he fought a longer, younger, hungrier fighter who I thought was going to win. And I wasn't alone. A lot of people gave this fight to Darren Till. A lot of people. And that just goes to show that too many people were looking at his past performances, and maybe they were looking too closely into his performance against Damian Maia, where they thought, if he couldn't finish Damian Maia, why would he be able to finish Darren Till? And the reason is simple. That right hand can take anybody out. Darren Till, his style, hands down, chin up, lots of movements, lots of small finicky movements, just let him be too open to Tyron Woodley. Tyron placed that hand perfectly on the chin of Darren Till, a crumbled Darren Till. And that was it. Tyron Woodley continuously pummeled him with punches, elbows, body shots, suffocating him, not giving him any space to move, and then sunk in a beautiful Bravo choke. Which doesn't come to surprise because lots of successful wrestlers love that position, love that choke. They use the strength of their arms, they wrap up the head with an arm, and they press down their belly. They use that pressure that they're so used to get a submission victory. It is one of the favorite submissions of all wrestlers. We've seen it used by John Fitch. We've seen it used by Tony Ferguson. We've seen it used by a lot of successful wrestlers. And now Tyron Woodley being one of them. This was arguably Tyron Woodley's second best performance. And I say second because his performance against Ruthless Robbie Lawler was the greatest performance of his career. And that propelled him to the excellence that he's achieving now. He beat Ruthless. He beat Wonderboy. He beat Damian Maia. And now he beat Till. And it wasn't a fight where immediate rematch is going to happen because Darren Till did nothing. And I'll get to that. I'll get to the point that Darren Till looked horrendous. That was not the Darren Till that I thought would show up. And it wasn't a Darren Till that deserves a title shot. It proves the distance between Darren Till and what it means to be a champion in that division. Tyron Woodley took no chances, and he wasn't afraid. Tyron Woodley did what he had to do, and he won. That's what sets aside Tyron Woodley from Darren Till. Darren Till looked awful. He looked hesitant. He took one too many shots. He didn't throw enough kicks. He didn't distance himself. And he put no pressure. And that's what cost him the fight. He didn't put up any combinations. And he just looked terrible. The first round, nothing happened in his favor. He landed 0 significant strikes the whole fight. Come on. You don't go into the most important fight of your career at your level, at your age, and throw 0 significant strikes. You were a challenger who had less to lose than Tyron Woodley. And you faltered. And it's a shame. And you let a lot of people down, but I think you will come back better. But will you come back in the same division? That's the question. I think you can beat anybody in that division, but I think your biggest challenge is your weight cut. And onto that fact, everyone is saying how much bigger you are to Tyron in the face-offs, but during the actual fight, Tyron looked humongous, and you looked a little bit smaller. Darren Till looked thinner. Darren Till didn't bulk enough or didn't hydrate enough, or maybe his new meal plan has changed his body significantly. But if he's able to maintain, he said the weight cut was easy this time. So he definitely did something different with nutritionist. So if Darren Till can maintain that easy cut, then he can come back stronger into the welterweight division after a few wins, namely against maybe a rematch against Wonderboy or a rematch or a fight against Ruthless. We'll see. But Darren Till definitely has been set back, while Tyron Woodley has been, this puts him higher, and this puts his legacy in retrospect to being potentially one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters currently, and being a champion who could beat everyone that puts in his way. Wrestlers, karate specialists, jiu-jitsu specialists, Muay Thai specialists who have humongous height advantage. He can take them all.